What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumbass. Like and subscribe. So, with the aftermath of Herman Hulst getting demoted, the PlayStation building, their house is on fire. The ponies, the donkey unicorns, they don't seem to understand how fire works. They don't seem to realize that their house is on fire. Their dumpster fire is on fire. I've seen a lot of people making a video about JTech TV and his Doom 2016 gameplay. I saw a Bruvian's video. I saw, who else did a video? Oh no, it's Alex? I think it was Oh no, it's Alex. It was AGN did one too. It's a bunch of people, and so I'm like, and it kind of does prove a point. Not all gamers are equal, created equal, or have equal skill, obviously. And if JTech TV is a representative or a representation of the average donkey unicorn / pony, then we know why, they don't buy games. You know why they don't buy PlayStation games. Or wait, or actually, I think we can extrapolate from the numbers of how many donkey unicorns and ponies there actually are because of the sale numbers of certain games that aren't actual challenging type of games, like not like hide under cover, shoot the wall, and he was playing on easy too. I was like, oh my gosh, is he the new hip hop gamer? No, I'm just kidding. Hip hop gamer is probably a better gamer than JTech. Anyway, once again, the bad news cometh for Sony. It does whatever news is coming out. It doesn't look good for Sony. Now, I heard a couple of creators talking about, there's good news for Sony that they're making the PSN sign-in optional for games going forward. For Spider-Man, it's optional. For this and that, it's optional. I'm like, and then there's like, and you get bonus costumes and get this and that if you sign up for PC, but you don't have to, but you get the bonus. I'm like, you see what's happening, right? They are desperate, Sony, and they're trying to bribe you to sign into PSN for a couple of goofy costumes and stuff. I mean, some people might do it. I mean, the ponies and donkey unicorns are going to do it anyway, so they get the free costumes. But will they play it on PC? Probably not, because they're ponies and donkey unicorns. They're going to play it on PlayStation 5 Amateur or the PisterTech 5 Potato. So it's not going to make PC gamers, true PC gamers, do that, because they want Steam. That's it. They don't want no other than this and that. They want Steam. That's it. If you make it simple and you say, whatever. I mean, look, it's a better idea than just forcing it, and it also opens up the other markets so people can actually purchase the games and play them without having to sign in, because they can't sign in because it's not available in their region. So that's a better way. How they did it before, asinine. And so I'm like, how is it so hard to come up with that in the beginning? And it shows that whoever's decision that was, bad. Was it Herman Hulst's decision? Was it Jim Ryan's decision? Was it Hiroki? I don't know whose decision it was, but whoever made this new decision, it's a better look overall, and that's where people are trying to spin it positively. I mean, it's positive based off of what it was before, which was 100% negative. So you can't go anywhere but up from where it was. So, sure, it's bare minimum for what they should have started at. So, okay. So of course we know the standards are different for PlayStation than they are Xbox. So they get the benefit of the doubts more than Xbox does, and all that stuff. You know how it is. But it still hasn't changed the fact that the industry is what it is and what it's turning into, and Microsoft has always been the company to kind of foresee the trends or see the trends and act accordingly, whether it's a good decision to act accordingly or a bad decision. Every move that they have made, for the most part, has been correct, but the timing is wrong, right? So like when they did the Zune was an awesome product. Y'all don't know. Zune was dope. It was too late. If they had come out exactly when the iPod came out, you know what? But iPod is irrelevant now anyway. It's all smartphones, right? It's talking about smartphones. They had the phones, but they shut it down. Satya Nadella shut it down, and he regrets it. So, bad move, bad decision. Could they come back into the smartphone? If they had, like I said before, I said in another video, if they created an Xbox mobile app, like a for mobile that was kind of like your phone, like you have the phone plus the Xbox app, and it's kind of all seamless, and let's go, then maybe it would be cool. Maybe I'm like, give me an Xbox phone, let's go. Play Xbox on that, be kind of native. It wouldn't be native. It'd probably be just streaming. Or maybe they have powerful phones that some of the stuff could be native. Who knows? But the point is, I don't know if that market's closed off all the way, because they do have hardware. They do make phones, but they just don't have an OS on it. They have Android phones. What was it called? It was a split screen foldy thing. And they open it up as like a DS and stuff. So they make good stuff. It's just, they don't have OS. So maybe this mobile OS would be something they would maybe put on one of their devices, one of their phones that they actually make. Or, their phones are, I think one is Android, but I think it's more of like a small form PC, which is the same thing. So I don't know. There's a possibility for that stuff. But, Microsoft, how they've positioned themselves, this was pretty much the last video, but you look at what's going on in the industry. You look at all of the changes that's going on at PlayStation, and you're like, it's not a good look when people are leaving. Like someone did it, I think it was AGN or maybe another creator, who went down the line of all the people who recently left PlayStation. And I forgot to talk about, I talked about Ted Price, but like within the list, you got Ted Price, you got Shuhei Yoshida, you got Herman Hulse, who got demoted. You got Jim Ryan. Why did I forget his name? Jim Ryan, right? And then all the other, Sean Layden, Andrew House, the dude before him, I can't remember his name right now. 7 since the end of the PlayStation, 7 since the beginning of the PlayStation 4 era. 7 different CEOs. Well, 8 if you include the new guy, Hideki Shinobi, Nishino. I can't remember. Something like that. 8 different ones. And you look over at Xbox. Phil Spencer. He was good. He was in games. He got promoted to Xbox dude, right? Then he got promoted again. So technically, he's head at Microsoft Games. So that's the thing, right? If you look at the structure of Microsoft Gaming, I have to say that because it's not just Xbox, but we can shorten it for Xbox Gaming or whatever. But Phil's still the boss as far as gaming goes over on the Xbox side, Microsoft. He's still the boss. He just has more minions under him. And that's only because of the purchases they like ABK, Bethesda, all that stuff. Because they couldn't put that under Xbox. They had to be under Microsoft. And then so you got Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, ABK, And that also gives them the leverage to buy more publishers to put under the Microsoft Gaming umbrella. And it'd be all good. So, you're looking at that. They have the numbers. They got the games. They got the bangers coming, right? They got hardware coming. And so that's another thing. I'm going to keep doing these PlayStation is Dead video. Play Dead Station. I don't know. I'm going to keep doing these videos because we need to kind of hammer the message, hammer home the message of the turmoil and the downturn that PlayStation is going through. And the fact that these donkey unicorns and ponies are ignoring it is just, You know, it's just a symptom of their lunacy. But you know, Microsoft has all these things lined up, right? They have services. Now, I mean, okay, so they had their financials come out or whatever, you know, and it said that Microsoft Gaming was the number one publisher. Number one publisher. So how are you third, but you're number one? How does that work? I think EA was the second. How does that work, Sony? Where are you on that list? You're not number one. You see how the metrics work? When you're the number one publisher, which is more lucrative than hardware manufacturing because the margins are less on hardware than they are on software. You make more money on software than you do hardware. Why do you think Hiroki Totoki is so adamant about margins? We're going to get the margins bigger. We're going to put our games everywhere. Margins. He likes that word because that's where the money is. Microsoft, number one in publishing. Margins. Number one in making that margin money. And there was numbers. Oh, they're down in hardware, down in revenue, but they were up in, I forget, was it subscription services or Game Pass specifically or something like that, like 2%, but everything else was down. And their profit remained the same. So even if they're losing hardware or they're losing like went down a couple of points on services or whatever, not services, but I forgot what it was, something else, maybe game sales or something. The fact that Game Pass made up for the losses of those other segments, those other sections, is a testament of Game Pass itself. It went up 2% and it made up. They were flat on profits, which is like, oh, all right, that's cool. And they know, and they're coming out with new hardware. And if they play their cards right, it's going to... Imagine this. Imagine a world where the next Xbox, or one of the next Xboxes, is a handheld, a little bit more powerful than, let's just say, comparable to the Series S. Little changes here and there, you know, maybe the resolution is lower or whatever, but, you know, it's comparable in power. Price-wise, maybe it's $500, $450, who knows, you know. You know, so it'd be more powerful than the Switch 2, right? And it sells like hotcakes. Now people are saying, "Oh well, it can't be that cheap because it's gonna be competition with their partners, basically other people who are making hardware that's gonna use the same Xbox OS." And I'm like, that's not how that's gonna work. I mean, they're gonna price it probably to not lose money. So would it be I would say $500. I'm gonna say $499. They could probably do it. I mean, if they wanted to subsidize it, sure, they can make it cheaper. But I don't want to spend $700 on a portable Xbox. I don't want to. Would I? I don't know. Maybe, depending on what it is. You know, if the product is worth it, sure. $700 for a PlayStation 5 Potato, a Pistol Tech 5 Potato. No, not worth it. Especially when Digital Foundry comes out and says, "Hey, look at this. This is like worse than the amateur. It's worse." Yeah, mate. And I'm like, why would I buy that again? I don't even need to buy a PlayStation, but why would I buy that PlayStation? Because that PlayStation is worse than the other PlayStation, which I don't need to buy either, because PC. Spider-Man just came out on PC today. Come on, son. Spider-Man 2. Listen. Everything is falling apart around PlayStation. In my song I made like 2 years ago, it said, "Don't forget about day and date on PC," or something like that. I can't remember the actual thing. And I'm like, I wrote that 2 years ago, and it's happening now. I foreseen it. Swami Stevie, that's me, yo. And that's what happened. That's what's happening. And so, you know, PlayStation, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. You could tell by all the shuffling of CEOs and stuff like that, canceling 100 million games. They got no games for the rest of the generation. There's no positive outlook for PlayStation. You can say, "Oh, this game here or that game there." You could say that. I mean, first of all, the games aren't out, so they could suck like Concord. Hopefully not, because that's the worst travesty of, Concord sucks. Let's go. And I'm going to tell you every time I'm going to tell you that Concord is whack as hell, because it is. And this is their legacy. I mean, I didn't realize that Jim Ryan would destroy, or was destroying, PlayStation so hard, how he was doing it. And Herman Hulse was helping too. He's holding him up while he was messing up place. And I was like, yo, how? I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be real. I think that what Jim Ryan and Herman Hulse contributed, what they did to PlayStation may be worse than what Don Matrick did to Xbox. Now, it hasn't all played out yet, so we'll have to see. But I'm gonna say in the next couple of years we're gonna see the aftermath of all this craziness. The fact y'all ain't got no games, you ponies ain't got no game, you donkey unicorns ain't got nothing to play. So you're port begging for Xbox games, and you're bragging about getting them at the same time. It don't make sense. But once again, donkey unicorns and ponies, they never make sense. That's why they can't play games. They're too busy on Twitter trying to win, trying to cheerlead for their winner console. And meanwhile, Microsoft leapfrogged PlayStation already. I mean, for one part of it, like if you look at all the different metrics, like console sales, MAUs, game sales, what else? Publisher ranking, blah blah. You look at all those things. The only thing that PlayStation has, even though the numbers are skewed, is console sales. Everything else is sus. Well, we all already know publisher. Microsoft got that, right? Number of studios, Microsoft got more. Number of first-party IPs owned, Microsoft has more. Even though Sony has a bunch that they're not using, Microsoft still has more through their acquisitions. Just have more. Look at the number of games that are coming out. And you look at every showcase, like from the summer showcase last year, right, which was a banger, best, people saying best showcase ever in the history of video games. And then you look at the last one that just happened, the Dev Direct. I was like, I mean, they usually aren't this good. Like, why? How is this so good? And it was good. And people are saying this is good. And somebody did a poll. It was like 75% said it was good, A. And then 18, 20%, something like that, said it was a B. And then all the us was trolls and stuff. It's like 90-something%. It's like unanimous. And it was like it was 70,000 votes or something? It was like crazy. So I'm like, and what's PlayStation got? What's the last thing they put out? What's the last showcase? State of play or something? It's trash. They're dumb. It's like they're not even trying. I heard MBG, last thing. I heard MBG say, what did he say? Because it was a clip of him saying it from somebody else's video. And he said PlayStation can say, it was some arrogance, something like, oh, you're gonna go and buy Xbox? All right, sure, go ahead, do that. But what are you gonna when these games come out? Where are you gonna play them? You're gonna play them on a PlayStation, right? Or he said something like that. I was like, you don't know how business works, do you? If you make a product that's whatever, people bought it, right? And then another product comes out, and it's better, right? I mean, subjectively, whatever, or we could say objectively, it's better, right? It's a better product, right? And then the zeitgeist happens, and everybody's like, "Yo, this is what's up," and it becomes part of the zeitgeist positively, of course. And then the casuals adopt it and say, "Oh, Game Pass, let's go." They don't care about PlayStation. The casuals are what is holding up PlayStation. You got those numbers? That's the casuals. And if the casuals open their eyes and if they realize what Game Pass is, it's over for PlayStation. They can't compete with that. Anyway, I appreciate you hanging on the show and listening, man. Like and subscribe. Hit me in the comments below. Let me know what you think about all the things that's kind of happening to PlayStation right now. We got the Phil interviews, the Microsoft being #1 publisher. Is that anything? Is that important, or or is that just something they're trying to give Microsoft a W or something or whatever? Is that more important than console sales? I think it is. And do you think, I know Phil Spencer mentioned this, do you think that the metrics of how success is measured, which is, Xbox has changed that a long time ago, but you think that the public will change how they perceive success from the different metrics that would be measured, aside, console sales aside? I think that's an old metric, but the new metrics of MAUs and, just money or whatever. But anyway, I appreciate hanging out, and I catch y'all next one too. The way